Hi guys, welcome back. So this is a quick review or you can say a plan of action that I want to share with all of you guys as you all are preparing for JEE examination. You may be writing this examination next year or next to next year. Uh, what I'm trying to help you out here with is how should you actually plan your own studies, and most of it is actually coming from my own experience as a student and some of the parts from my teaching experience as well. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's go ahead and talk about how should you go ahead with your JE prep. Okay, and the first aspect that I think that you usually wonder and try to take care of, and the most important aspect is how you take care of your time. Okay, so the one thing which I can say from my experience, guys, is to not be unrealistic when you are allocating time for something. Okay, so that's why you'll find me giving you the entire idea in a very holistic manner, and it's not a hard and fast. Means what? I don't want you people to consider this as a military rule. It's obviously something which you can tweak as per your own circumstances and your own requirement as well. So I've given a I'm rather trying to give you a template. Obviously, you can mold things and things will naturally get molded as per your own class timings, your school timings later on when your school's open, whether you go to your schools or not, will depend upon multiple factors depending upon each and every student's own circumstances. Okay, so remember that what I'm telling you all is a template. It's Please don't ask me questions like, sir, can I do 6 hours of sleep, can I study at night, can I wake up early in the morning? That is something that I'm leaving for you guys to decide, because every person has different lifestyle, every person has different grasping power, every person has different objectives when they are preparing for this examination, and different difficulty levels being faced. So it's a template that I'm sharing you all. Okay, so first thing is about timetable, and I've divided the entire day in a very generous manner, considering Monday to Saturdays. Sundays are something which I consider is totally up to you guys how you want to divide it. Okay, so first thing, when we speak about timetable, there are three broad aspects that I've divided it into. So you will be able to see that your total time which is available in front of you, something which is unavoidable is sleep. Usually people don't sleep for 8 hours, but I've still kept maximum possible number of hours that you guys should sleep, and sleep is a very important aspect. When do you sleep, when do you wake up is totally your call. Okay, so 8 hours of minimum sleep. Non-academic time, also given it 8 hours, and your academic time is 8 hours. Okay, so when I say academic time, obviously this is with respect to present situation more. That means the uh, when we are not going to school. That's why I've given only 8 hours to your academic time, which includes your classes at Vedantu and your self study. When your schools will start, obviously some of the time from non-academic should come here in the academic. Okay, so when we say non-academic time, what exactly do I mean by that? Your daily unavoidable things, which can include from eating to watching TV with your family, and going out with your family, things which are unavoidable, basically daily things which happen for people differently. Okay, so your non-academic time, just as an example, is daily unavoidable things, family and friends time, and me time, or you can say entertainment time. This is something which will be as per your own, you know, own personal life, the non-academic time. Okay, if you can reduce non-academic time, that will be obviously more beneficial. And obviously I don't want you people to take that non-academic time which you are going to reduce to your sleep hours. Don't bring it to the sleep hours. Try to dedicate more time from non-academic to academic. And when I say academic, at this point of time you're attending classes with Vedantu and you are self-studying. So 8 hours of self-study at this point of time is more than sufficient according to me. Okay, so I've given you a broad idea how should you actually divide your day's time, and keep a broad aspect of it. Don't just make an ideal timetable and stick it on the wall and never look at it. Okay, so keep this broad idea in your mind always. You don't have to write it down anywhere. You have to keep it in mind that I'm sleeping for this many hours, and how many number of hours you are going to study, just track that. So remaining number of hours will naturally become your non-academic hours. Okay, cool. Now this is your timetable. or division of the time in a day. Next is your aspect of what to study. What do you think you should be studying? You should be studying from your class notes. Usually, your teachers on Vedantu, including me, when we write anything on the screen, that becomes naturally your class note. है ना? And your reference books, whichever book that you might be following, I've already given you a list of books, and any reference book that you follow is very good book. Okay, don't doubt the books that you have. Okay, so if it is H.C. Verma, if it is Resnick Halliday, or if it is Pradeep's, if it is Physics Galaxy, whichever book it is, guys. Okay, that book is very good enough. Whichever book you are able to understand is the reference book that you should, that's basically the criteria of choosing a book. Am I able to understand the language of this book? Am I able to grasp the thought which are expressed in the book or not? Okay, for some people Modern's ABC could be a very good book. For some people HC Verma could be a very good book. For some people Resnick Halliday could be a very good book. Okay, if you have not heard about any of these books, totally fine with that. Okay, now, apart from your class notes, which are basically for your theory thing, you can also, and you should also actually go with Vedantu Tattva, which is basically a brief summary of the entire theory along with the assignments. I think spelling is not correct, but that's fine, right? So, Vedantu Tattva and assignments are something which you should consider it as a must. You have to do it. Okay, and once you are done with solving content which is given from Vedantu, then you should go for your reference book. Now again, reference MCQ book could be any book. It could be again any book from any publisher. Could be HC Verma again, could be your Singage, could be USS, could be Arihant, could be Physics Galaxy, could be Pradeep, could be Errorless, or whichever book that you guys already have. Okay, so do not doubt the book that you have. I'm repeating this again here. I've said this n number of times, guys. It's not about having thick books below your pillow to sleep on. No data is going to get downloaded from your book to your head, to your brain. The books are only good when you are solving them. So do not compare your book, your ability with others. Try to solve the book that you have. It's very important. Okay, but solve the book only once you are done with your Vedantu, Tattva, and assignments. Okay, guys, that's clear. So what to study in that study hours which we have in the academic times, in the self study time specifically, you are supposed to study these things. Okay. Now, how should you actually study? How should you study? There are pointers which I wanted to tell you all. So, most importantly is that you should have your own routine. You should have your own routine or timetable. Okay. More importantly, it should be a practical timetable and not an ideal one. Means what? I don't recommend of making a timetable every week and then following it only 50%. What is important is to realize to give time in the most you know followable manner. So if you want to create a timetable, make sure that you are being generous in terms of the number of hours that you are giving to your studies and the breaks that you are giving in between. It should not happen that you will make a timetable which says that after every 1 hour of study I will only take a 5 minutes of break and then I will study again. Because what is going to happen in this kind of timetables is that you will study for an hour definitely on day number one. You will take a 5 minutes break that day. You will start studying immediately after that 5 minutes. You will be able to continue this momentum of motivation maybe for a week. Okay, maybe for some people it may last only for few days. What will be the problem with such timetables is that that 5 minutes break that you take, you will start finding it inadequate after some time. And maybe if something of your interest is going on outside your study time, in those 5 minutes, say if a cricket match is going on, a football match is going on, maybe that 5 minutes will become an hour in itself. So that basically means your timetable successfully ruined and you not following your own timetable and making that timetable in the category which I call as an ideal timetable. So it's better to actually plan your day every day, that today it's going to be India Pakistan match, so definitely I have this information almost a month before or a week before at least. So I will make sure that on that day when that match is happening, okay, I'm a cricket buff, obviously, so I'm giving you the example accordingly. So I will make sure that on that day when India Pakistan match is going to happen, so I'm going to compensate the number of hours that I'm going to spend in watching that match. I will not let my studies of the week get affected. So I will compensate that number of hours in the entire week. Okay, guys, I hope the point is clear how you are supposed to make your timetable. Okay, pardon that sound of this dog barking outside. Okay, okay, so obviously, I want you people to make a timetable which is suitable for you and more easily followable. Okay, and that's why I've given you a brief idea about how should you be generous about sleep hours and non-academic hours and not trying to make your academic time too much, which becomes more of a difficult commitment to follow. Or maybe initially you can keep more non-academic time and less academic time. Maybe you can start with only 3 hours of academic time at this point of time apart from the Vedantu classes. Try to see if you are able to follow those 3 hours or not, and then steadily, like a workout routine, try to increase the number of academic hours every week. Okay, cool. Apart from that, very important, which I believe personally, is you should never miss a class or a session, especially the one that I'm not considering the school classes, okay? Classes which are making you prepare for JEE. Because a lot of theory which will be explained to you by your teachers is something which you will never be able to understand at the same intensity with the same speed by yourself. So you don't want to miss out on any of the lectures which are happening on Vedantu. And that ways you are actually saving your own time and energy. And you are obviously being disciplined as well. Okay. Next is try to understand theory in class and revise as soon as possible. Yes, as I said, yes, theory you'll be able to understand maximum in the class because your teachers will be giving you the information which you actually should be having for JEE preparation. So you will get the adequate amount of theory and understanding with obviously MCQs being discussed with your teachers in terms of example. And if possible, don't wait for a week when the same teacher's lecture is going to happen that you will revise the topic which was done in the previous class. My funda, when I was a student, whenever say I attended a physics lecture today, I will make sure that by tonight only or maybe next morning I will do a thorough revision of whatever was taught to me in that class so that I am strengthening everything which was taught theory wise. I'm trying to keep all the formulae in mind, especially the derivation part. Okay. How can you also strengthen your concept? You should know that JEE is an examination which will never ask you uh, you know theoretical questions. It will always try to test your conceptual understanding of anything that you have learned, and not in terms of theory, obviously in terms of your ability to solve problems. So that is why this aspect is the most important aspect of your entire preparation of J. Means what? This is what I will say is the heart and soul of the entire prep of journey of JEE examination. Solve as many MCQs as you can and make it a routine. Okay, become the Rahul Dravid of your own preparation instead of becoming Shahid Afridi. Yeah, means what? I don't want you people to solve in a single day 100 or 200 questions and then don't do anything for 15 days. Rather be Rahul Dravid and score less every day, but score every day. That is more important. Okay, I don't know whether you got that reference or not. What is important is to solve a minimum number of good number of questions every day and not over expecting from you yourself. Try to decide this threshold. I personally believe 50 MCQs are easily doable every day. And if you make it a habit, try to bring this in habit by doing it first for a week. Commit yourself for a week only that I will do 50 questions for next 1 week. Also, after that 1 week is done, look back. Keep a track every day how many MCQs you solved. Look back, did you follow the regime that you set for yourself? If you did, then you will not require anyone else to motivate you. You will find yourself motivated to do this again for the next week. Try doing this for the first week and then decide for yourself that whether you would want to do it for next another week or next another 2 weeks, next another 1 month. Don't think it too far. First go for that 1 week and do this. Trust me, this will actually strengthen your entire uh, your entire routine of JEE prep. Okay, guys. Next one, never miss a test even when you are half prepared. Yes, never go with a mindset that I am, or rather, never be in a mindset in a week that, okay, there's a test coming on 5th of July, it's on JEE Advanced pattern. I don't even know what exactly JEE Advanced is. And I've never appeared for an MCQ test before like that. So I don't know whether I'll be able to do good in that or not. I haven't even started studying. Whatever be the reason. If you have already followed all the points that I've said so far, you will never be in that thought process because you will be solving 50 MCQs every day. So you will, any which way, we will be prepared for an exam like JEE. Okay, but even if because of any XYZ genuine reason, if you're not so well prepared and you're not feeling very confident, still go for that test. It's not your actual JEE examination. Nothing bad will happen. You at least will get to learn a few things from that exam itself. Okay. Also, after every exam, make sure that you are analyzing your own performance. When I say analyzing your own performance, it actually means you going back and looking at the questions that you solved correctly, which topics they belong to, and the questions which you solved incorrectly, which topic they belong to. Not just the chapter, but the topic. Okay, especially the one which you did wrong are basically the concept which you thought you can solve, but you did not solve them correctly, which means your understanding somewhere is wrong. You thought that you know the concept properly, but you don't know the concept properly. That's basically the indicator when you solve a question incorrectly. Also, then there are questions which you did not even attempt. That simply means you haven't even studied that topic. So it's a very clear cut indication. Okay, so when you solve a question correctly, that concept is very well understood. Question which you attempted and incorrectly solved is a concept that you thought you know, but actually you don't know. So again, go back and solve questions from that. And then questions which are left are the concept which you have no idea about. Okay, so this is how the self analysis should happen. And last but not the least is always, this is actually a, it's actually something which can only be told to people who are still have a year or two in hand. Means it's a long term goal. So when I used to study, guys, what I used to do, I used to star mark all the questions and concepts and derivation which I found relatively challenging, and questions which I felt, or derivations I felt, must be revised before any examination is happening from that particular chapter or from the entire division of the units of chapters. Okay, so when you are doing this, just imagine you have 2 days of an examination coming up, and you have very less amount of time left because you have physics, chemistry, maths, all three to revise. So in that time, I don't want to waste my time in going through each and every question and then seeing, okay, this question was actually not supposed to be wasted time with this. I already know. If you have all the questions and concepts star marked, then you, while revising, will only take a halt on those questions. You will only see, even just by looking at the solutions, also you will be able to revise. I hope the point is clear. So star mark, or whatever mark that you think is the mark that you put, it could be a star, it could be just writing that it is important, anything. But make sure that whenever you are studying from this day till the day you are writing, your syllabus is getting covered and you are completing more MCQs in terms of books or Vedantu material, make sure that you are for yourself the questions and the derivations you found challenging, you're star marking them because they will help you revise that particular chapter. Okay, guys, so this is what I thought is in nutshell the overall crux how I would want anyone to take their JE prep. It's a bird's eye view for all of you to see. Okay, so that you can take a screenshot. Okay, guys, all the best. Continue your journey for JE prep. Try to motivate yourself from this point. Okay, this particular thought, this one, the one that I'm highlighting, and this one is a long-term investment. Cool, people. All the best. See you in the class. Bye bye.